help mediate the conflict.
Knitch mentioned
Also,
that her
it's
method
cowboy
of
music,
mediation
bro.
is silencing both parties. Is that true?
Well, that's only in
Alright,
special
Obia, stop
cases.
crashing!
Most
This
of the
second tire
time,
crash!
Chaska barely needs to intervene. Everyone knows what she's capable of, so people usually find a way to set aside their differences when she shows up.
Oh, so she doesn't just handle conflicts between
I swear to
humans
God,
and
it kept
Saurians.
crashing.
She keeps the peace between people too.
Exactly. Chaska was corrupted by abyssal power as a child, so she has a strong compulsion to fight, but she knows how to rein it in.
Right. I heard that she was abandoned as a baby. It seems like she's been through a lot.
Yeah, but luckily for her, the Cuckoosaurs took her in and raised her as one of their own. In addition to hunting and flying, Chaska gained a lot of unique combat experience from her Saurian childhood. When Chaska is in your party, defeating monsters will restore phlogiston to your party. While she's in the Night Soul's blessing state, Chaska can
Bro,
ride and
that
control
looks so
her gun
fucking
like
cool.
a Cuckoosaur. The Soul Sniper doesn't just increase her
Look at that
movement
Night
speed
Soul
and
split
resistance to interruption.
meter, bro.
It also allows her to get a better angle on her enemies.
Wow.
Bro,
that
she's
mid-air
flying.
perspective is so cool. It seems
She's
so
flying.
liberating.
Yeah, and Chaska's fierce when she's in the zone. In the Night Soul's blessing state, Chaska's normal attacks deal animo damage to enemies in front of her. Unleashing a charged attack in this state will cause Chaska to enter a special aiming mode. This allows her to lock onto a set number of enemies
Bro,
within
what the
range
fuck?
and fire up to 6 Shadow Hunt shells, which deal animo damage upon impact. In addition, for every Pyro, Hydro, Cryo, or Electro character in your
Ooh.
party, one of Chaska's Shadow Hunt shells will undergo an elemental conversion to deal the corresponding
What
type
the
of elemental
fuck?
damage.
That is
Whoa,
so
no
cool!
way. So Chaska can directly deal other types of elemental damage based on the characters in her party. And since she's an animal character, she can swirl them at the same time. That's awesome.
Yeah, I know, right? Her elemental burst has a similar function too.
Nah,
Chaska
what?
fires a gale-splitting Soul Seeker shell during her
Oh
burst,
my,
which
I'm
deals
gonna
animo
poop.
damage.
Nah.
Then splits into 6 Soul Seeker shells, which continue to attack nearby enemies. These shells can also
Bro,
undergo
that looks so
elemental
cool.
conversions.
That's so cool. No wonder she's one of the strongest warriors in her tribe.
Speaking of her tribe, the warriors from the Flower Feather clan are formidable for sure, but we should also shed some light on those who aren't as skilled.
Oh, are you talking about the wingless? That's what the tribe calls people who fail the flight trials, right? They're the challengers who fail to earn the recognition of a Cuckoosaur.
Exactly. But the name doesn't indicate that those people are weak or deserve to be cast aside. The Flower Feather
Yes.
clan has its own definition of strength. There's a tacit understanding that the wingless are supposed to be protected until they can fly by themselves. But that assumption is challenged in Tribal Chronicles Tlalocan. Someone will dare to ask, what if you didn't need a Cuckoosaur to fly? If you could change the rules, then maybe there wouldn't be any wingless to begin with. Now, whether that's
Airplane?
the right path is
Airplane?
for us to discover. Chaska will also be there to help us find the answer. So, be sure to check out Chaska's Tribal Chronicle if you're interested in what happens.
Is there anything else that you can tell us?
Remember how I mentioned that Chaska was raised by Cuckoosaurs?
Yeah, tell us about it.
Her Saurian mother will make an appearance in this quest.
Saurian
Even
mother?
though she's joined human society, Chaska still goes to visit her Saurian mother on occasion, especially when she needs some help with a tough situation.
Oh, so Chaska still has a soft side, even though she's a fearsome warrior.
Definitely. The Flower Feather clan is also the setting for the Archon quest Chapter
Inter-
5
that-
interlude.
that's
All
a-
fires fuel the flame. The tribe is facing a crisis, and they'll need the traveler's help to find
Wait,
a
what?
solution.
What kind of crisis?
Well,
What?
the Flower Feather clan suffered the worst of the abyssal contamination during the battle in version 5.1. It's not just the human body that can't withstand high concentrations
Wait,
of
so
abyssal power.
it's an
For
Archon
most people,
quest,
it
but not
also
an Archon
damages the
quest?
mind.
So it's an interlude
Many
quest?
members of the Flower Feather clan are suffering from the mental repercussions of the abyss, and the tribe is in desperate need of aid. Eonsan will be there too. After rebuilding her own tribe, the Collective of Plenty, she's traveling around Natland to help those in need.
The people of Natland really value unity, don't they? No one fights alone.
Right.
That's one of my favorite things about Natland. Oh, wait. It looks like the captain will also be there.
Yes, the captain will also offer help to the tribe. You may pick up on some interesting information
Yeah,
if you
Brad
pay
decided
close
to
attention
become
to
a-
what he has to say. The captain rarely gives away too much information in his regular interactions, but his secrecy here seems a little peculiar. So keep an eye out, but of course, restoring Natlan's
I
fighting
see.
spirit remains the top priority. After all, the war isn't over yet. The abyssal contamination is still around, and we have a very important battle ahead. Natlan needs mental fortitude more than ever before.
The
And the
Flower
loot.
Feather clan is pretty close to the Masters of the Night Wind, where the Ictomosaurs
Look at
live.
interlude, bro.
That tribe could be another good place to recover from the battle.
Oh yeah, let's check it out.
So it's basically just
If you head west from the Stadium
what
of
it
the
called?
Sacred Flame and go past
sixth
the
chapter.
towering walls, you eventually arrive at the settlement of the mysterious Masters of the Night Wind. The tribal settlement
that
offers a
looks so
unique
cool.
glowing landscape at night.
It
If you
reminds me of
venture
What
even
the
further,
Island.
then you might encounter the tribe's one Ictomosaur elder or one of the many shamans who
Oh,
can
you hear that,
communicate
Wesley?
with spirits. I even heard that the witch doctors who live there can help cleanse your spirit.
Oh.
Plus, the graffiti art is really incredible. In fact, there's something special
Oh.
about this one. Can you figure it out, travelers?
Oh, is
It's
that
kind of
now?
tricky, right? Well, don't worry. The Ictomosaurs can help us out.
Bro,
Ictomosaurs are known for their
this is
wisdom.
so cool.
They can use their unique sight to detect things that can't be seen through normal mains.
Whoa, okay.
Right. Ictomosaurs are especially skilled at detecting ley lines and phlogiston.
Bro, this
They can
OST,
absorb
this
power
OST is
from
so good.
phlogiston objects to enhance their abilities. Doing so allows them to jump higher, move faster, or even obtain surprising rewards. Ictomosaurs can also extract information from graffiti art to create special objects.
Bro, what the
I bet
fuck?
that'll come in handy for
It just
solving
made the
puzzles.
fucking.
Definitely, especially in
What?
Tribal Chronicles Mictlan, which
Bro.
will become available in version 5.2. The first two acts feature a lot of intriguing puzzles, so be sure to check them out, travelers. Some of them will require the help of an Ictomosaur, and others can be solved on your own.
I noticed that Ictomosaurs can perform
What?
fast-paced jumps when they have enough phlogiston.
Bro,
and
this is
it
so
looks like so
cool.
much fun. Do we know anyone who can use that ability? Besides the new Saurian, I mean.
Yes, Auroron can do it too. Like the Ictomosaurs, Auroron has the ability to rise into the air. He also has a keen sense of perception. While charging an aimed shot, Auroron will enter the Spirit Speaker state, allowing him to extract power from Natlan's graffiti and runes.
Speaking of Auroron, I was honestly super surprised by his personality. Before the 5.1 Archon quest, I thought that he looked like a stern, stoic, and harsh type of character. But as it turns out, he's just a sweet kid.
Yeah, it's kind of unexpected, right? Is he really that sweet though? Just to think about all the sneaking around behind his granny's back.
Ah, true.
The tribespeople of the Masters of the Night Wind are known for being eccentric. But Auroron really takes it to the next level.
Yeah, it sounds like he does things his own way. I wonder if that extends to his combat abilities.
It does. Auroron is a bit different from the Natlan characters we've met so far. He doesn't need to depend on the Night Soul's Blessing state to gain Night Soul points, and he can maintain the Night Soul's Blessing state even while he's off-field.
What?
That does sound different from the other Natlan characters. So how do his abilities work?
Let me start by explaining how Auroron gains Night Soul points. This can happen in multiple ways. For example, Auroron can gain Night Soul points when one of his party members triggers a Night Soul burst. He can also gain them when other party members deal Hydro or Electro attacks to enemies after Auroron unleashes his elemental skill.
Oh, then it sounds like he works well with Hydro and Electro characters.
Yep. And in combat,
Yeah,
when
electro
enemies
charge.
take damage
Yeah, he's
from
got ball.
electro-charged reactions, or other party members deal Night Soul aligned damage, Auroron can consume Night Soul points to enter the Night Soul's Blessing state and trigger the Hypersense effect, dealing electro damage.
Oh, I see. So you need to pair him with the right characters if you want him to gain Night Soul points, enter the Night Soul's Blessing state, and trigger the effect.
Exactly. Though I should mention that Auroron doesn't need to be on the field to trigger the hypersense effect.
Wait, he can trigger it even while he's off field? That sounds really useful.
Totally. His elemental burst provides a convenient way to deal damage and support your party. Auroron performs an ancient reach roll with his burst to summon a supersonic Oculus, which taunts nearby enemies to draw them in. Once they're up close, the Oculus releases a sound wave to deal damage.
That should be great for crowd control.
Yes, with Auroron in your party,
He
dealing
just
with
floated.
large
He-
groups
he
of
went
enemies
crazy,
should
boy.
be a lot easier. And speaking of making things easier, Auroron can also improve the exploration experience by boosting the gliding speed of your characters.
Oh,
Awesome.
nice.
Auroron really cherishes his friends. With a little teamwork on his side, I'm sure victory will always be within reach.
I see that, Chas.
Cool. So we
New
introduced two
area.
of the upcoming
Lovely
regions
here,
in this
do I
update,
see?
the Flower Feather Clan and the Masters of the Nightwind. But there's more. Version 5.2 actually introduces another new region. It's called Ochkanatlan.
Oh, I think we caught a glimpse of this ancient city when we were looking at the Flower Feather Clan. It's really beautiful from far away, but those
Bro.
clouds look kind of
Bro,
ominous.
that looks so...
It looks completely abandoned. Is it dangerous?
Yes, this is a restricted area in that land due to its severe abyssal
Okay, why it
contamination,
sounds
and
like
it
fucking
seems
Go War.
uninhabited. Over the years, many adventurers have come here in search of treasure or to slay the dragon. Unfortunately, none of them have ever returned. The Flower Feather Clan often sends riders to patrol the area and to prevent people from getting too close.
Wait, did you say slay the dragon?
Yeah,
Dragon?
I know we introduced some adorable saurians earlier.
Whoa,
but
what's that?
This creature is
That's a dragon?
actually really
That's a dragon?
terrifying.
Oh.
It occupies this ancient city and guards it fiercely. If it detects an intruder, then it
Oh,
will
my
attack
word.
without hesitation.
Okay, that's pretty concerning.
It's easy to take human-saurian coexistence for granted these days, but it actually took generations of effort to reach this point. This relationship wasn't nearly so harmonious in the ancient past. Travelers will need to explore Ochkanatlan to uncover the reason behind this dragon's
It
rampage.
will be
Of
fucking
course,
epic.
travelers won't have to do this alone. Here, take a look.
Oh, what's
What
that?
With
This
that,
is a very important companion who will help us
got
explore
a heart shape.
Ochkanatlan. His name is Kokoweek. As
His
for
name?
his power, well, why don't you take a guess?
Okay, is he our moral support? You know, maybe he could make a cute noise every now and then to cheer
he's
us
a
up.
dragon.
Hey, let's not put our Tapetlasaur friend out of a job. Little one works really hard.
Okay, then I've got nothing.
Remember how I mentioned that Ochkanatlan is heavily corroded by the abyss? Well, that's where Kokoweek comes in. We can use his power to clear abyssal contamination. Follow the direction indicated by his light to collect secret source scraps and enhance his power. Once
Whoa,
Kokoweek
who's
has
that
enough power,
NPC?
you can take him to track down the evil dragon.
What a useful little guy.
I know, right?
Bro,
Now,
full boss
travelers can
fight.
explore Ochkanatlan with two companions, Kokoweek and Little One. In fact, I've heard there's even a special token around here that can enable Little One to traverse a volcano. A new adventure with Little One awaits in version 5.2.
Bro.
This update will bring us one step closer to uncovering the mysteries of Little One's past. Familiar Saurian companions can also help us explore Ochkanatlan. For example, with the help of a Kaholasaur, we can evade source mechanism attacks. With the help of an Ikitomisaur, we can solve certain puzzles. With the help of a Kukusaur, we might even be able to chase down the evil dragon. But we'll leave the rest for you to
Evil
discover,
dragon,
travelers.
Wait, are those some kind of lava fish? Does this mean we can fish in that land?
Yes, but
We're
I've got
fishing in
some
that
friendly advice,
land.
travelers. You should be very careful while exploring Ochkanatlan. Some of the abyssal monsters here can distort their appearance
the
to mimic
fuck is
powerful
that?
enemies. High-level monsters such as the tenebrous Papilla can mimic even stronger enemies.
Huh? It looks like these monsters take the form of plants outside of combat.
Yep, that's true. The Abyss has corroded Natlan's ley lines, allowing these monsters to read the memories inside of them and mimic creatures from Tevat.
How do we defeat them?
Travelers will need to use elemental attacks to break the enemy's protective void wards. doing so allows them to take damage and causes
Man,
them
look
to
at her
enter
just
a
shooting
brief
guns.
state of confusion. Night Soul aligned elemental attacks are especially effective against these wards.
Wow, the Abyss has gotten so advanced. It's scary to think about how much
Bro,
harder
wait,
these
is
fights
that
will
the
get
be-
if these abyssal monsters continue to
The fight
evolve.
music?
Yeah.
The fight OST?
Okay, that was a lot of information to take in at once. But before we take our first break, we still have a couple of short announcements. Really short, I promise. First up, limited time exploration rewards will be available in version 5.2. Just like in version 5.1, travelers can earn up to 400 extra Primo Gems. And the rewards will be available all the way through version 5.3. It's now time to introduce the event wishes. In the first half of version 5.2, travelers can look forward to event wishes from Chasca and Lenny. Auroron will also receive a drop rate boost. And in the second half of version 5.2, we'll have returning event wishes.
Those two guys,
The weapon banner will feature a new 5-star bow.
Oh,
Astral
bro, why is
Vulture
this
Boots and
OST?
Foolish, and 2 new Netland specific 4-star weapons. Be sure to check them out if you're interested.
All right, it's time for our first break. Once we come back, we'll dive right into the event portion.
I'm just more interested in that fucking OST.
What is that? My God.
Oh, it's a little one. Oh my god, that sound just triggered memory. It sounds like something from Southeast Asia. Oh my god, that's a more memory and a half. Hopefully OBS doesn't crash. Don't want to deal with all this again. Oh, look at those.
Welcome back,
Oh, the
travelers.
event.
Welcome back! Let's dive straight into the event section. So in the first event, we'll get to learn more about the masters.
Oh,
of
what is
the
that
Night
weapon?
Wind.
That's right. In
What
the
is that
version
weapon?
5.2 event,
That looks so
Ikitomi
cool.
Spirit-seeking scrolls.
That looks so
Travelers
cool.
will team up with Citlali and Auroron to get to the bottom of a mysterious accident that occurred within their tribe.
Travelers will need to complete combat challenges to defeat enemies who try to disrupt the ritual. They'll also need to reconstruct scenes from the tribe's woven scrolls and gather lost spirits scattered throughout the region. Travelers will only be able to uncover the truth if they collect all the clues. But don't worry, there are also various rewards to earn along the way, including Primo Gems.
Ooh, I
Primo
really like the
Gem.
vibe of this event.
Whoa,
It looks like
oh, that
Citlali
looks
is
so
performing
cool.
Some kind of ritual. It's also mysterious.
How many times they
When
cool
the
now?
situation gets tough, it's Granny to the rescue.
Definitely.
Citlali and Auroron have some really fun dialogue in this event.
Whoa,
I'm
whoa.
always grabbing the popcorn whenever these two interact. They're practically a two-person show. And speaking of fun, let's get into the event gameplay. First up is the Search for Lost Spirits minigame. Travelers will have to work together to herd the scattered roaming spirits into
Oh, it's
specific
co-op
zones
game.
to earn points. Pay attention to the conditions on the field if you want a higher score. For example,
Boy, this
travelers can
OST,
jump
man.
on stone slabs that appear on the field. These slabs will break open and release even more spirits. Storms may also appear during the game. You can track down spirits more effectively
Oh,
if you
that's
pay
so
attention to the
good.
direction of the storms.
In Evil Banisher,
Sorry, I'm
travelers will
focusing
need to
too much on
select
the
the right
OST.
teams to complete the objectives.
Wow, that's
Completing
beautiful.
all of the objectives will award you the Banishing Aura, which allows you to deal AoE damage by spraying paint at enemies.
That paint really
Paint.
matches the Masters of the Night Wind's aesthetic. It's super cool.
Yeah, and so does the Spirit Loom in restoring fragmented
Whoa,
records.
I like
Citlali
that.
will use her powers to reveal special fragments. Travelers will need
I
to piece
like
these
that.
fragments together and assemble them
I
on
like
a woven
that.
scroll.
Make sure that you pay attention to the order and positions of the
I
fragments.
like that.
Oh, there's something else that we should
Man,
mention.
this weapon looks so cool.
Travelers can obtain a new 4-star sword by
Clever to
completing
issue.
this event. The design definitely fits the Masters of the Nightwind. It looks like some kind of ceremonial artifact.
Bro, it can look
I
like
totally
fucking
agree.
5-star weapon.
Oh, and this event will allow travelers to learn more about Natland's secrets. For example, this quest will reveal new clues about a mysterious and legendary place, the Mare Javari.
Wow, we've been
Mare
hearing about
Javari.
this place since Mondstadt.
Mare
It'll be nice
Javari.
to get some new information. On a related note, the Adventurers Guild has prepared a new trial for its members. Active adventurers have been invited to
Metamorphosis.
take on the challenge, including the Traveler. Travelers will need to complete various challenges with designated characters and
Yo,
fully
he's
leverage
running,
their
man.
skills to earn rewards. I know you're up to the challenge, Travelers. Good luck.
In Mondstadt-related news,
ball.
the Knights of Favonius are conducting a war game to improve security tactics in the region.
Wait,
Who
is
better to
Mondstadt
test
is
these
that?
tactics than the Honorary Knight? Be sure to pay close attention to the game since the format has changed this time.
What is
Travelers will
this?
need to select the combat units and stratagems to deploy against
that
the opposing
TCG?
formation. Once the lineup is set, the monsters will fight automatically. Available combat
Bro,
units and
Pokemon.
stratagems are completely random. You know, just to build some unpredictability into the wargame. The chances of encountering elite combat units increases as the wargame progresses. Even more elite monsters will be available for travelers to use. It's a volatile environment,
Bro.
so do your best to win as
Bro,
many
what
rounds
is this
as possible,
Pokemon
earn
now?
wargame medals, and collect
MOBA?
the rewards.
All right, let's keep the excitement rolling in this next event. We actually have a demo, so please take a look.
Demo?
Oh, looks like they're selecting tactics. Double damage? That sounds powerful.
Bro, why they
Whoa,
go
it's
so fast?
automated. Cool.
Bro,
The
why is this
elemental
happening?
reaction effects are completely
What is
different.
happening?
This brand new heated battle mode is called Automatic Artistry.
What is
support
happening?
cards have been added for nearly
Everything-
every
everything's so
elemental
fast.
reaction. Choose cards that align with
Full
your strategies to
character-
trigger
I'm
powerful
dead.
elemental reactions. The effects will change depending on how you play. In addition, the overall gameplay is very laid back. Characters will automatically duel each other, and skill animations are now shorter in length.
Wow, it's like we got a whole new Genius Invocation TCG after coming back from Natland. Talk about whiplash.
That's right. Even if you've never played Genius Invocation before, I really recommend checking out this new gameplay mode in version 5.2. The new version will also bring a few updates to regular Genius
Rosaria.
Invocation TCG.
Did you
Do
win?
you ever feel a little cooped up while you're playing card games? Well, don't worry about that. Our next event will give travelers the opportunity to enjoy the great outdoors. In
Outdoors?
Clone Convoy, travelers will need to help Lamia track down some adopted animals. Travelers will be able to see the animal's point of view by using a special tool. Once you've managed to deduce their location, you'll be able
Oh,
to
it's this
track them
game.
down. Once
I
the
mean, this-
animals are safe and sound, travelers will receive a gift from
mean,
the
this-
mysterious figure who adopted them. I feel like Auroron would really shine
What the
in this
fuck?
event.
Hey, what is
He's
that, Hu
definitely
Tao?
an animal lover.
I can see that. I'm sure that he
What is
would
that, Hu
jump
Tao?
at the chance to meet animals from other nations.
Yeah.
Finally, the Ley Line Overflow event will return in version 5.2. If you need Mora or character EXP materials, then keep an eye out.
All right, let's dive into some updates and game optimizations.
It's
First up
firework.
is
Why
the
is there
change to the
firework today?
Imaginarium Theater.
An
Previously,
update?
travelers would be returned to the theater lobby after completing a challenge and have to reopen the Fantasia Tome to continue. Travelers provided feedback that
What
this
is
setup
happening today,
interrupted
bro?
their
Shit, there's a lot of
experience.
shit happening
So,
today.
this will no longer be the case in
Love
version
ass Curse
5.2.
time.
Now, after finishing a battle, all you need to do is click Next Act if you want to keep
Firework
fighting.
is happening.
Nice. Travelers can now enjoy the thrill of combat without any interruptions.
And for all the generous travelers who like to configure supports for their friends, a supporting caster record has been added in the new update. You can now check which friends have borrowed your supports by looking at the supporting cast screen.
Okay.
Cool.
I should never use
It'll be
this.
nice to know that
Oh.
our supports are helping people out.
Yup. Oh, and the party configuration mechanic has also been optimized. Besides the elemental filtering, the Imaginarium Theater will now feature recommended row icons, elemental statistics, and markers for the main types of enemies.
That is so helpful. I'll occasionally put together a random team if I've just started experimenting with some characters, but this information should make it a lot easier to form strategic teams.
These markers will display key information on how to counter enemies, but in a much more prominent position. Hopefully, this change will make it easier for travelers to form the best teams.
Yes. Now we can directly see which elements work best against specific enemies. That's definitely going to save some time.
For sure. And we can expect even more optimizations in the
Oh,
future
this
as travelers
OST.
continue to provide valuable
triggering
feedback
my
about their
nostalgia feelings.
experiences. Okay, let's introduce the other system optimizations coming in version 5.2. You can
yeah.
outsort
Now
5-star
system.
artifacts in your inventory based on when you obtained them, from the most recent to the oldest. Second, the animations
that's
for
nice.
crafting materials, forging weapons, building
You shorter
furniture,
now.
and cooking dishes are now shorter in length.
That's
That's
really
nice.
nice. The dev team designed a lot of intricate animations for these features, but it can feel a bit frustrating when you have to watch them over and over again.
There will also be several optimizations for the Serena teapot. The seed dispensary can now hold more of every type of seed. You'll be able to purchase wood at the Realm Depot in exchange for Realm currency. In addition,
Okay,
the
that's nice.
cooldown for the boon of the Elder Tree will be reduced to 5 seconds. This way,
That's even
it'll
more
be
nice.
easier for
Even though I
travelers
don't
to
use it
collect wood.
anymore.
Awesome. I've been meaning to use some cool replicas in my Serena teapot, but I'm always short on wood. So this should be really helpful.
Nice! I'm so excited for you! Oh, and optimizations have been made to artifact locking. The updated lock assistance interface will allow you to configure lock settings with a single click. Just hit Use Recommended Settings and you're set. The recommended set lock plans will even update automatically based on popular in-game configurations. Of course, if you have your own ideas in mind, then you can always disable the recommended plans to configure custom ones instead.
The update also allows you to batch lock artifacts in your inventory based on the recommended general lock plan and set lock plans. This will make it much faster to organize your inventory. In addition, a shortcut button that navigates to the lock assistance interface will be added to the artifact domain challenge screen and the artifact acquisition screen. This should make it easier for travelers to configure their locking rules whenever they want. A star feature will also be added next to the lock button on each artifact. Travelers can use this feature to mark their favorite artifacts and filter by stars to quickly track them down.
Finally, treasure compasses will now be able to locate even more treasure locations, including Sealies and time trial challenges. A quick swap feature will also be added for treasure compasses and Oculus Resonance
Man,
stones. Enabling
that's
this
like the
feature
best
will allow
fucking
travelers
update
to
ever.
more easily use
The
these
treasure
devices across regions.
compass
The feature will
actually
automatically switch to
biggest
the
update.
compass or stone that corresponds to your location in the game.
No
Awesome. Be
more
sure to check out
straight
future
random ass
announcements for more
Celia.
details on the version 5.2 optimizations.
All right, that was a lot of info, so this seems like a good time for our second break.
It's time for the third redemption code.
Alright. Oh my god, look at that. So pretty. Not banjo. Not a banjo. Oh my god. That's good. Remind me of something. I don't remember what genre it was. Oh.
Welcome back, travelers. What else do we have on the agenda, Gabe?
We have some very exciting news to share. After the version update on November 20th, travelers will be
Okay.
able to play Genshin Impact on
Okay.
the Xbox Series X and S. Log into Genshin Impact on Xbox Series X and S consoles to receive the Wind Glider Wings of Fate's Course Intertwined. Additionally, Xbox Game Pass Ultimate members can play Genshin Impact via cloud gaming. They'll also find extra rewards in their in-game
Oh, yeah,
mailbox.
well.
Awesome.
All right, that should be everything. And that means that we've reached the end of the special program.
Well, that's
Is
short.
there anything that you want to say before we go, Kai?
Yes, I'm really looking forward to all the new characters. Chasca and her weapons seem really incredible. I'd love to see how her travel chronicle unfolds because she has such an amazing personality. And Auroran seems like a very layered character. The storytelling is definitely going to shine. What about you, Gabe?
Yeah, I'm just
Good.
so excited for players to experience more of the Natlan storyline, and we have so much to explore this time. I mean, 2 new tribes and a new area as well. And one thing I've always loved about Genshin Impact is how it's multi-platform. Like, I'm always logging in on different devices depending on where I am, so it's just exciting to see another platform become available for everyone.
Yeah.
And yeah, on that note, I hope you have fun with the new version, travelers.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Anything else? Secret?